Already started recording. Spit was chewy out. I'll do it in a sec. I'll do that in a fucking second, mate. Yo, the sun's gleaming. The sun is gleaming. Yeah, gassed right now. Going gym. I'm going gym. We're on the calisthenics thing. Not today though. I've been doing calisthenics now for quite a while, like probably a month, but I've done a little bit too much of it to the point where I probably do need to go and do some separate exercises. That was a good session, that, you know. I loved that session, even though I didn't want to do like anything in the weight room. I went in the weight room for the first time, and yeah, I can definitely feel the pump. It's nice, I think, to be a mix. Like, it might sound hypocritical now to some people I've spoken to, but it's nice to have a mix of both, I think, defo, because I did the lat pull down then. I think when I used to do lat pull down, I had no muscle going on in my back whatsoever. But now that I've trained pull-ups slowly and progressively over time, the lat pull down, I can actually feel it in my back. I'm doing the right activation for my scapula, I think it's called. So I'm actually activating it, and instead of it being all arms, because I used to pull down with the lat pull down with my arms, and I weren't activating any of my back. But now that I know what it feels like to activate the back, yeah, it's fire. Now I can actually probably progressively overload my back, meaning I'm going to grow there, meaning more pull-ups, meaning more progression in calisthenics, man. So yeah, anyway, I was touching on a video before about discipline, I think, and I think what I wanted to get to eventually was talking about how you have to do everything in steps. You can't do things cold turkey. You can't quit something all at once. I mean, you can't quit too many things at once, and I think this is quite common knowledge, but I've actually seen the benefit of quitting vaping for like a month, then quitting smoking weed for like a month, and doing it in steps gradually. And yeah, I've got to a point now where it's just impossible to go back to the old ways. So many subtopics that I could go down, but I think I want to do these videos based on what I feel like in the moment. So I think all the time. I'm diseased with thinking, and sometimes I can get onto a thought just for ages and just be thinking about it for ages. It's racking my own brain for ages. And then right now I feel like I'm kind of thinking of what I want to talk about on this channel, but I think I should just naturally let it come out as and when it pops into my head. Because my first video I posted was just literally me just taking the camera out and talking about the thought I had in the morning, and you know, it felt nice getting that out. So I'm not going to keep this too long, but I think this channel is going to revolve around sustainability and making sure that you stay sustainable, because otherwise you just can't achieve much. You're going to be stuck in the same cycle, going back to square one all the time. I never said analyze them, but I've given an analogy to my friend before of, imagine like Minecraft, for example. When we used to play Minecraft, there used to be this tutorial level where it had like the logo massive in the sky. Imagine just constantly replaying that level and never actually getting into the open world. And that is what going back to your old habits does. It just sets you back constantly to the tutorial, and you're there eating shit again, you're on Uber Eats again, you're buying a vape again, you're having a wank again, you're drinking again, you're sniffing again, you're not going the gym again, you're not exercising again, and you just keep having to go back to that constantly over and over and over again. And then you think, right, maybe I'll do it this way, maybe I'll do it that way. The secret is, do one thing at a time, and remember where you're heading as well. Quit vaping, but then don't just get stuck on all the other shit for another 5 months. Quit vaping, then be like, right, now I'm off, vaping's completely gone, I will never vape again. Start the next thing. And then when that's done, whether it's smoking weed or drinking alcohol, when you know that you're never going to do it again, start the next thing. And eventually you're building this character in this world that you have confidence in, which is yourself. The more things you can do that are hard, the more your self-worth goes up, your confidence goes up, your ability to say, I can do this, I won't quit this. And then the actual goals that do come to your head, you can actually start to work towards, rather than like constantly letting yourself down, further depreciating your own self-worth, which is a big no-no. So, and that's where I was for a long time. And yeah, there's loads of factors for that too. Like I went through a horrible relationship which completely killed my sense of fucking myself, really. I kind of lost myself for a while, and it affected my business, it affected everything. The opportunities that I had whilst I was down, like I had opportunities to like really do something good for myself, and I weren't ready. So anyway, I'm going to cut this short. Plenty of stuff I can speak about in the future, but like I said, it's just going to be, I'm not going to sit here with a clipboard and a list. Maybe if I wanted to, or people were asking about certain things, I'd have to, because I can't. I'm really bad at keeping a thread of thought and staying on it. But yeah, like I said, it's just going to be what I think when I think it. You know what's mad, right, is I've recorded like 3 videos on this camera so far, and you know, that's just today. This is the 3rd one, but I don't really feel like I have anything to say right now, and that's absolutely fine. But what I'm taking from that is the stuff I've said. I normally have something to say, is what I'm trying to say. So the stuff I've said so far, I've said them to this, and it feels like my head's empty. I feel like I've got an empty head. It feels nice. It actually does feel proper nice. I've come out here, it's just about to go dark, but yeah, I'm hitting this run. I don't even need this on, but I like to, even if it's a short run, because sometimes my mouth gets bare dry, so it's nice to have like a little splash of water, do you know what I mean? So on this, before I do a run, I like to do like a short walk, stretch, get the blood going, and then start. But usually conversational pace, so I'll probably be able to whip this out, but probably won't. Maybe at like every kilometre, maybe. I'm only going to do like 3k. I think it's 3k anyway. But I'm just going to pop this on here now. This should just stick to this. Yo, fire. But yeah, do some stretches and then get off. Hopefully there's no one here. Oh, that's wooden. Oh, that's well better. Yeah, that's better. So yeah, get some stretches done, get on this 3k run. I did 10k yesterday, so my strategy for life is little and often. Do a little bit every day. Sometimes you're going to do a big bit, sometimes you're going to do a little bit, and that's fine as long as you do something. I could do 1k and I'd still be like, yo, I got out there and I did it. Do you know what I mean? So it's all that matters. One thing I don't like about videoing is in public, when people could possibly hear or see, not see, people could see me doing it at my house, but when they're like walking right past it, it's like, and then you start again. Yeah, it's a bit peak. But yeah, I don't normally run with a hat on, but this hat yesterday on the 10k, it didn't even get too sweaty, so we're gonna see how this goes. Conversational pace. Yeah, definitely not conversational pace. We'll keep it going. Split 2. Check the sky. Skies and I can't really see now in this round. No. Nearly done, one more K. Little or often, man. That's all you gotta do. Just a tiny bit every fucking day. So did the 3k. Took 17 mins. 17 mins out of your life. Now, that's nothing in a day. Just the same way that if I did 10k once a week, it's nothing. It's daily that you've got to do it. Daily. And it's easy daily as well. Next thing you know, you're running 15k, 8k, 10k, 6k, 4k, 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 day after day. And then over time, you beat them guys who are like, back at it, back at it, on the stories, on social media, saying that they're back at the running and stuff, but they've done one run, posted the time, and then they think they're gonna stay on it. And the reason they don't stay on it, it's not sustainable. Always go back to sustainable. Do what you can every day that's sustainable. Don't do one big run looking for the praise online, looking for the likes, looking for the kudos on Strava. Look, showing your friends like, look, I did 10k yesterday. It don't matter, because if you don't do it again the next day, even if you don't do the 10, even if you don't do a 5 the next day or a 2 the next day, you're like, oh, my legs are fucked, I did 10k. What does it even mean? You've got to be an accumulation of the habits that you're doing. You can't just do like one run and that's it. You got to do it every single day. Me cutting it off there because somebody was coming. I don't like public filming, man, but we'll get there. We'll get there. I still don't think I'll like it ever, but you know, gonna continue this walk around this park anyway, a little cool down. Don't mind getting some extra steps in, might even track it, because yeah, I like getting the protein in, and I've reached my calories, so I'm in a deficit at the minute. I'm trying to lose weight but keep muscle, in fact gain muscle. I've never been in shape. I've been in shape once when I was like 20, 28 now, and that's it, just that one time. But when I look at the pictures, I'm well skinny, you know, fast metabolism, no muscle, just had abs and that's it. I've always had a naturally protruding chest. I wouldn't even say big, it's just a muscle that I've got without trying. And I still don't even like how it looks. I'm lacking on the top, but it doesn't matter anyway, because that's all about aesthetics. I'd rather like care about the muscle because it's not strong. I need to be strong there, because apparently pecs and delts are key in calisthenics, but I might be talking out my ass. I'm very, very, very early on in the journey, so yeah, going back to what I was saying before, you just need to make sure you're keeping everything sustainable. I used to find calorie deficits really hard. Again, couldn't sustain it because there's so many avenues there, but the main reason people can't sustain stuff is due to dopamine and chasing dopamine and dopamine spikes in the day, which come from, the main one really is the phones and social media. It's just a jackpot lever of random emotions given to you through the screen, and it lowers your dopamine baseline. So if you're constantly on your phone, and obviously other things do this, but just for the example, if you're constantly on your phone and then you want to do something like a calorie deficit, and let's say you do it for 2 days, and again you've got that buzzing feeling like, yeah, I'm on a calorie deficit, yeah. What happens is you get bored because you're on your phone still, and you've not even realised that you need to dead that off, and then you're like, put your phone down, and you realise you're so bored that you need something to stimulate you again and spike your dopamine. So it's going to be so much harder to not give in to, let's say you've got a friend who's not on your goal, or your missus isn't on your goal, and she's like, should we get some snacks? You're just going to give in because your dopamine's so low, because you've fried it too much from being on your phone, on social media more like, and other things do that. So yeah, it's a very deep thing to be locked in, because you've got to gradually raise this dopamine baseline so that the hard things become fun again. The 10k run doesn't become something that you don't want to do. It becomes who you are. It becomes part of your life, that you just do things that are it's not hard to do a 10k run when it's not boring to do so. Like, that just becomes something that a human does when your dopamine's not down here. If your dopamine's down here, yeah, a 10k run is like being sentenced to death. It is hanging. But when it's up here, going on your phone, being at home, it actually brings you down, doing all that stuff. And going on your phone when it's up here is like a tiny little blip. You know, imagine like a heart rate monitor in a hospital. Just a tiny little blip like that. Whereas when it's down here, your baseline, that dopamine spike from your phone goes up here, all day. So when you do that, when your baseline's down here and you try to do a 10k run, it's just going to go, and it's going to make you think, why am I doing this? This doesn't make me feel as good as my phone does. You get home straight on your phone. So yeah, that baseline needs to get risen, otherwise you're cooked, absolutely cooked. But I'm gonna head in now anyway, and yeah man, that's it for today, I think. So